Good day. This 62nd day, meaningful moments, 365 days. Tastes so good. And that's what meaningful moments are about. Today's meaningful moment came to me over soaking some oats. And I love when I remember to soak oats the night before, because the oatmeal, when I cook it the next day, is so creamy and it's easier to digest. And in my husband's words, over eating a little oatmeal this morning, it made his belly happy. I think he actually said his tummy happy. And that was so delightful to have that experience together today. So this whole soaking oats holds a lot of different significance. And that is because I remembered to soak the oats, and so there's this bit of planting a seed that goes on whenever we have a thought and we're going to create a moment for ourselves. We plant the seed, and it's usually before the event. Whether it's that we're going to soak in the hot tub, or soak in the bathtub, or take a walk, or carve out this little niche of time that is going to be important to us. And I love that idea because we're planting these kinds of seeds all the time, and it's like a soaking or a steeping, just like this delicious tea. It's the steeping that's going in there, and it's gathering all that flavor, similar to soaking the oats. But the soaking the oats had another additional meaningful moment, which was that my husband and I sat down to have breakfast this morning, which is a new thing that we get to do now with this move and him being closer to his work, that we actually get to carve out this little niche of time in the morning and not just have a cup of coffee and kind of a quick hello and good morning and checking in and starting off the day, but we actually get to sit down and savor that just a little bit longer in the morning now and feed ourselves, nourish ourselves with not only the nutrients of our food, but that nourishment that we give to just not the physical body, but the emotional and the mental body. Because literally, even by choosing the foods we eat, we're adding to the strength and the support of our emotional body and our mental body. And both him and I have a lot of activity during the day that's very thinking oriented, and so it's really beautiful to be able to extra support that with nutritious foods as well. And it coincides with tonight's topic on weaving stories of your well-being, because we're going to be speaking about eating for your body, mind, and soul tonight as well. But it's so much more. Even when my co-host and I were talking about tonight's event, we were talking and brainstorming about, all the levels that it touches us to be conscious and mindful of what we're eating. Just like this meaningful moment I told you about soaking the oats. Yes, it's actually additionally nutritious for us to be able to soak it so that it can break down through our digestive system a little bit better. And I do that with a little bit of whey in the yogurt that I add the night before to the water and let it soak so that it can break down a little bit easier in our system and help nourish our gut as well. And this delicious tea I'm having, and how the spices in this chai, and it's not a sweetened chai or anything like that. It's just allowing it to work deeply in my internal system. So these are these little pieces on the physical level. Then there's that emotional piece of sitting down with my husband and us actually having a conversation and being able to savor that moment. It's the idea of planting the seed the night before and holding it in my imagination and then creating that space, because that's what we're doing continually, is creating some kind of space for ourselves. And then it's the support that I give to the mental activity of the day, and it just rolls out so beautifully. And after he left and I was walking through my home and getting ready for today and even now this live, I actually passed the window, and it was so beautiful and bright, and it had more of that delicious feeling, like my husband expressing it felt, happy in his tummy, or his tummy felt happy. I felt happy, like there was all this integration that had happened, body, mind and soul, and body being on those levels physically of the physical body, the emotional and the mental body, and it all was just integrated so beautifully. And my kitty cat was on the bed, and I laid down next to him for a moment, and it was again carving this moment. And so with today's meaningful moment over soaking oats, we can soak our ideas of what we imagine to be perfect moments for ourselves. And then we can roll them out for ourselves, because we get to create that time and space. And more, that whole notion of whatever time is, and just how precious it is to be conscious of how we're soaking these moments in, and how it's all a compilation of these experiences that gives meaning to our life, purpose for what we're awaking to and what we're living into, breathing into, and what we get to close at the end of a lifetime. All these string together moments, meaningful moments. So whatever it is that you're soaking, planting your seeds. I'm soaking some broccoli seeds today and getting ready to do some sprouts. And thinking about each and every one of us in all the ways that we get to create our time, our space, and soaking these beautiful seeds of what we hold true, near, and dear in our hearts. Aho, friends.